Oh my god, I actually stuffed that up. Wait, let's do that again. I completely stuffed that up. Okay, I completely stuffed that one up. Okay, let's do that again. Let's do that again. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. And here we go. Formula One Academy returns here to Montreal, Canada. Round number 4, halfway point of the season. And it's time for qualifying for F1 Academy. This is going to be a good session. I am mostly excited for this session. 4.361 kilometres, 2.7 miles, 5.3 metres in elevation, and 14 turns. What could possibly go wrong around this circuit? 3 17-lap races still to come. 1 today, 1 tomorrow. Sorry, yeah, 2 tomorrow, and 1 on Tuesday. It's going to be quite exciting to see these races unfold in front of us here today. The crowds are flocking into the heart of Canada, and it's time for qualifying. Maya Vug, who last session in practice, about 2 hours ago, in practice, Maya Vug could not get any laps done in that Scuderia Ferrari Prema racing driver, could not get any laps done. Diana Pan could get plenty of laps done. In that session, she finished P8 in free practice. Could have hoped for possibly a little bit more. Maya Vug, I'm guessing those pictures showing that she is making her way out onto the circuit, showing that that car seems to be fixed and ready for qualifying here. 30 minutes for F1 Academy to try and get their best laps done qualifying. It's probably the most important session of the year, and if you can stitch this session together, you should be in the bag for race 1. Now, if you don't know how the F1 Academy qualifying sessions go by, there is practically oh my god, there is practically one race, normally 2 races, but of course Miami, one of them got rained out, so 3 races here this weekend. Race 1 will be a reverse grid, race 2 will be a normal grid, and race 3 will be a normal grid. So race 1 being the reverse grid. I'm guessing race 3 might be a reverse grid as well off of race 2. Not completely sure with that one. But if that's practically how the F1 Academy qualifying sessions work. Of course, it's just one big qualifying session. You won't have to split these cars up into groups, unlike the FRECA Formula Regional European Championship does when they split up into groups. So you don't have to worry about any championship orders or anything. It is 30 minutes straight of qualifying to try and set the fastest lap possible. Here, of course, a new feature to some of my streams. If you guys missed the last stream, I decided we're turning on sub-only mode. I'll speak about that more in a minute.
Qualifying P7, 8 and 8, which made me start from P2, P1 and P1, which was a really cool experience. But now I really want to focus on qualifying higher, top 5 finishes hopefully, and even going higher. But overall the season was a little tough, especially round 2 and round 3, not scoring points. But the first round was okay with 10 points, so yeah.
So let's explain that.
Emma Felbermeyer very happy with her results last time out in Miami, hoping she can back those results up here this weekend. Now, about the sub-only mode. If you are not subscribed, you will not be able to chat. You have to subscribe to be able to chat. 1 minute. You subscribe, you can chat. So, I'm practically making a free business out of this. I'm getting free subscribers out of doing so. So, subscribe, like, if you're wondering. So far, but yeah, if you're wondering, hit like button, subscribe. It would be very much appreciated for everybody joining in. Of course, thank you. Last about to number 1 and who I'm not sure who else. I can't remember. What the flip? I feel like a flip flop for not remembering. Oh my god, that person's gonna join and I'm just gonna I'm gonna feel like a flip flop now. That's gonna annoy me. For the rest of the stream. Really. But thank you for the 3 people that are watching. As well as Maya Vuk, who could not get a lap done in free practice. She's now out here in qualifying. She's hoping to do the best flipping lap possible here. She runs into turn 1 and starts her lap. Let's head it up to the world feed and I can talk us through a lap in my book.
Taking her first proper lap around this Montreal circuit.
Absolutely, so we're riding on board. It gives us a good opportunity up through turns 3 and 4 now. This is the chicane where Charles Leclerc had an accident earlier on today in a Ferrari. She thankfully getting through there okay, but this is the first time we've seen her up at full pace because when she tried to go out in free practice, the car was just running very slow. They had those electric problems you were talking about. It does look as though, having changed all those electrical parts and the motor, that the car is working all right. At least it's going at a decent pace, but she's now having to get the feel for the car on this track. This late braking, you've got to get the brake balance really good. You've got to use those rear brakes as much as you can, but you don't want to throw the car out as you go into the corner.
Exactly. All these other drivers have had an opportunity to set out their braking points, trying to work out where they might need to be, played around with the brake, but I see a little bit of rear locking for Maya Vuk. She goes into turn 10, get the car rotated then in, got a long run down there straight, no DRS in these F1 Academy cars also, so she'll hug the right hand side, take the shortest line possible and then try and bleed her way out as hitting every gear change perfectly before picking out your braking point, jumping out on the brakes. As you can see, tentatively into 13, then 14, past the wall of champions, giving out enough space on that right hand side and come across to do her first full proper lap, first person to go across the flag, across the line, so she'll jump up into P1, but that's quickly snatched away from the block.
So the fastest time we saw in free practice was a 1:38.898, so they're a little bit off that just yet, but obviously they're building up, getting into this once again. That was Alicia Palmowski, as I said earlier. She did the 1:38.898. Chloe Chambers was very close, 0.074 of a second behind her. Alba Larson was 3rd fastest. Chloe Chong was going well this time. She was 4th fastest, so that was quite impressive. And in fact, Alba Larson, Chloe Chong and Ella Lloyd, as a bunch, they were within a tenth of each other, 3rd, 4th and 5th in free practice. Now, of course, we're into qualifying where it really does matter, and it will make a very distinctive grid, particularly for the final race of the weekend. The in-between race will be...
Alba Larson now goes to the top. It's a 140.910 as she comes through turn 1, just locking up those front brakes just a tad bit as she rolls on through turn 1 as the yellow flag out in sector 2 of the circuit. There is Leah Block continuing on with this lap. It is personal best first and purple second sector, but someone else has just gone as fastest to the second sector there, but it's personal best first and second. Leah Block at this point in time will go to the top by nearly half a second. Alba Larson leads this session 140.910 as she heads through the wall of champions. Bit of a slide in the rear ends. These cars really lacking the rear grip for Leah Block. Lacking the rear grip to be able to get through the chicane. But Leah Block to the top, 140.474. The track is nearly 2 seconds slower than what it was earlier. Ella Lloyd to the top, 140.1. So a good lap there from Ella Lloyd as it's a bit of racing going on here. And that is Nicole Havradar around at the chicane. Well, that is the the second chicane on this circuit. She's just gone around the second chicane down there. Oh, that might be the first chicane. That is the first chicane. So that's through turn 3 and turn 4, where she's gone off and had a spin there. Ella Lloyd, though, Alicia Palmowski's gone to the top, 140.1. This session will be about throwing 2 sets of tyres, using as much out of the Pirelli rubber in this first run as you can, going back in, throwing a brand new set of rubber at it, and going again in the second run. Ella Lloyd is continuing on with this lap. It is purple first, personal best first sector, through the second sector, 59.1 through the second sector for Alicia Palmowski. Can Ella Lloyd match that through the second sector? No, it's around about 59.5 through that second sector. So it's not as close as what you'd probably want it to be. As personal best first and second sector for Ella Lloyd, the McLaren Academy driver, as Chloe Chambers gets her fastest lap time deleted for cutting the chicane of the Wall of Champions. So that's a bit of a problem for her. Ferreira is also improving through the first and second sector. Ella Lloyd is about half a second off Alicia Palmowski. She's on to do a 40.6. As you can see, using every bit of that curve, Maya Vug up into P3 as well. She's done a 40.4. What does Ella Lloyd do on this lap? Is it going to be an improvement? It is by 0.4, off by 0.4, but 0.3 thousandths faster than Alicia Palmowski on that lap. Ferreira is improving in the RB Racing driver up into P3. She's done a 40.3. Alba Larson is improving as well. She's down in P7 at the moment. She's 0.8 off the pace, but she's purple for first sector and personal best second sector. So it's looking quick for Alba Larson at the moment with 20 minutes to go. Still a long way to try and set your fastest lap time in this session. Alba Larson to the line. She goes P1, 39.6, 8 tenths now off the lap times we saw in free practice. So about 8 tenths off the lap times we saw in free practice. What a slide from Alicia Palmowski, who's sitting P2 at the moment in this session. That is after she did her fastest lap, using a bit of that ripple strip through turn 2, which normally you wouldn't do on a confident day. Really, the track would have to be extremely gripped up to be able to use that curb on the left-hand side out of turn 1 and into turn 2, Maya Vug. She is improving. Personal best first and second sectors will bump her up possibly to P2. Alba Larson is at the top, 39.6, and Maya Vug into the pit lane. There she is P5 at the moment. Ella Lloyd is on a lap. She's just coming into the pits. Leah Block is in P4, just moved up into P4. Riley Nobles up into P6 to 40.3 as drivers start to make their way into the pit lane and get some new shoes on, some new rubber, and go again. In this session. So it's going to be the most important thing here, is to just try and throw rubber at it and see if you can try and improve. Havrada is sort of improving. She's about a second off Larson through those 2 sectors. She's P14 at the moment. She's done a 42.0 to complete that lap. 2.4 seconds off the pace. Larson has just improved by a tenth on that lap, so that's a good lap. 39.5. She's closed that margin to only 6 tenths of a second. Leah Block is improving. She's purple through the first sector. Not so quick through the second sector. About a tenth down on Alba Larson. So not so quick through the second sector, but we'll see what can happen here as this session goes on. Can Leah Block continue with this lap? There is 20 minutes to go in this session. Leah Block, as she runs to the line, 6th gear, revs flat out and brakes. Drop it down into about 3rd gear, 2nd gear, before hitting the Wall of Champions chicane, and Leah Block makes her way into the pits. People now starting to make their way into the pit lane. Here are a few people that haven't done a lap. Chambers, Gaidman, Dorian Pan, and Tina Hausman that have not done a lap. So, waiting for the rubber to go down in this session before again heading out there for a lap. an indicative lap in this session, waiting for the tyre rubber to go down and to actually do a fast lap. Diane Pan, though, she is on for a lap in the number 28 Mercedes Prema Racing driver. Was under investigation in free practice for having loose material on the car, which was actually a blower that was on the car, and it helps cool down the engine. Alba Larsen is improving though. She's just improved her lap time, 1:39.2. Hello, number one. Welcome back to the stream. Hope you're well and good. We only chatted with each other about an hour ago. Hope you're still well and good though. Diane Pan on a lap through the first sector. She is improving about half a second up, half a second off Alba Larsen. She's big slide running through out of turn 6. Out of turn 6. This is turn 7 and turn 8. The chicane, so it's turn 8 and turn 9. Through the chicane now for Alba Larsen. Yeah, still good. What about you? I am doing good. I am. I have eaten. I have showered. I am now back for a bit of streaming. Last stream of the day. Try and make it a good one. It's with F1 Academy, so can't get any better than that. So yeah, I'm doing good. Diane Pan and Tina Hausman are currently on a lap at the moment. They're both improving, but they're not magentaing the times of Alba Larsen, 1:39.246. Cool, so fresh and ready. Yes, I am fresh and ready. I get the pun. Cool, fresh, ready. Good joke. I like that. Watch out for Diane Pan here, because she will definitely improve as she comes to the line. Tina Hausman is also improving. Diane Pan to the line. It's only 43.6. She lost a lot of time through that second sector. She's P17. Chloe Chambers, 5.1 seconds off the pace. Now, still 15 minutes to go in this session. Still plenty of time for drivers to get their tyres up to temp in pressure. For those people like Diane Pan and Chloe Chambers, who are championship contenders. Chloe Chambers sitting 5th in the championship at the moment, after a really good weekend in Miami a month ago. So that's just proving that car has a lot of pace. She just has to extract it out of it. Diane Pan sitting 2nd in the championship. She's 13 points off Maya Vug. She's sitting in 6th in this session. In free practice, Maya Vug was a little bit off the pace in the first session in free practice, because of course electrical dramas stopped that car from going out and wasn't able to set a fast lap. So she's learning now in this qualifying session, this 30-minute qualifying session, learning on the fly, getting used to the car as Nina Gademan and Diane Pan improves through the first and second sector for both drivers. The Alpine Academy driver of Nina Gademan making her run down the back straight and into the chicane, and it's just cut the chicane, so that lap will not be allowed for Nina Gademan. So she will cool off and go again for another lap. So cool the rubber down and go again on the next lap after that one. Diane Pan to the line. She's P18 at the moment. This will have to be an improvement, surely. It's P3, 40.1. So it took a few laps for those tyres to come up to temperature, and that time around she improved, and a much better time, even though Alba Larsen is currently on provisional pole at the moment. She has a really good shot at this. Now, Chloe Chambers, who is P14 at the moment, she's 2 seconds off the pace. She's done a 41.5, which is nowhere near indicative enough for the moment. She's personal best first sector, yellow second sector, so there's not much improvement in this lap on those Pirelli tyres. And of course these tyres are half brand new on this car, after of course doing about 2 or 3 laps. So those 2 or 3 laps would have been installation laps, of course also warm-up laps, trying to get the tyres up to temp and pressure. Chloe Chambers using every bit of curb on through the Wall of Champions. Chloe Chambers to the line. Can she improve? It's P2, 40.0, half a second off the pace. That is much expected from what we saw last time out in Miami, when she was quite quick with that pole position. Can she take 2 in a row this week? And Ella Lloyd was also extremely quick in Miami as well. practically destroying the fields, but in race 1, in the reverse grid, was not able to show that with contact with another car off the line. So Diane Pan is improving at the moment. Nina Gaiman up into P3, 40.092. Diane Pan to the line. Does she improve on this lap? She certainly does. What a lap! 39.568, only 0.016 off Alba Larson. Diane Pan showing the pace here as we take a look at a replay of Chloe Chambers and as to exactly why she didn't do the fastest first lap she possibly could, and that is why traffic is definitely a problem. Chloe Chambers.
Matilda.
Oh, Matilda Pat, who is...
So Matilda, no, not the Matilda you're thinking of, but that is the rookie here this weekend, and Chloe Chambers nearly crashing into her. I actually missed the radio message, so it's not exactly convenient, but Alba Larson, by the way, has just gone out on a brand new set of boots, so a brand new set of rubber, and she will possibly, most likely, try and improve. Chloe Chambers, she's improving. She's going really quick through the first 2 sectors. This lap is going to be really good. It's to the top by 0.1. 139.089. It is less than a tenth, separating the top 3 cars at the moment. Nina Gaiman in P5. Diane Pan is improving through the first and second sector. It's magenta. She's looking really quick at the moment. Palmowski's just improved. Chambers has just improved once again through the first sector. She's flying at the moment. Nina Gaiman, she's flying as well. Not as quick as Chloe Chambers, though. What's good, Thomas Wright? Welcome to the stream. Nina Gaiman stays P5. Dorian Pan moves up to P3. That lap is a 39.425 for Dorian Pan. Tina Husband up to P10. So not as quick as what she was in practice, finishing P4 in practice. Palmowski and Chloe Chambers nearly a second up on her own lap time. This is going to be really quick. How's it going, guys? It is going absolutely amazing. I had a shower, I had something to eat, I'm feeling refreshed. The joke by number 1, you'll get it. Chloe Chambers and Alicia Palmowski both improving. This will be tight, but Chloe Chambers, she's on to improve quite rapidly. And rapid she is. Purple first and second sector. We'll see what the lap is like here for Chambers as she comes to the line. Is this going to be an improvement? As she's to the line, that's definitely not an improvement. She's been held up. Has she? Yes, she was. She got her held up. So that was definitely a problem. Palmowski has just improved. She's done a 38.7. Chambers was able to improve. Chambers was very much able to improve there as number 1, reminding Thomas of what actually happened last stream. Thomas, you sort of missed like a lot. You missed the whole 1 hour and 10 minutes of a little bit of drama, more or less. So you missed a bit. You missed a little bit. Oh my god. Yeah. I mean, it was mainly just drama, more or less. Mainly. As, oh my god. What kind of drama? Oh, cable whip challenge stuff. Yeah, cable whip challenge stuff. Oh, to be honest, I genuinely don't want to go over it again. I spent practically 30 minutes going over it. I practically just told everyone in the stream that I just need time. That's practically what I told everyone. Don't need to? Okay, well, time. That's all I'm going to say. Time. Yeah, I genuinely just needed time to just think out life at the moment. But Ferreira as well, she is improving through the first 2 sectors, and as she comes to the line, she's P9 at the moment. She's just moved up into P5. But yeah, I just want to thank like every one of you for just understanding that. Yeah, I just need time to really just get my head straight again. Dorian Pan improving through the first 2 sectors by about a 10th at the moment. Personal best first sector, purple second sector. See what this lap is like for Dorian Pan. She comes down the back straight and gets her run through the final 2 corners. Yeah, so that was that. Other than that, the rest of it was fun. It was fun. It was Formula 1. What else can you... What else? What's not fun about Formula 1? Dorian Pan stays P3 though. She's not able to improve on her personal best by 6 thousandths. The rest of it was fun though. We chatted. Yeah, we just practically chatted about things. We talked about time zones. What else? Yeah, there's so many other things we talked about. There is. Chambers improving first and second sector. It's by nearly a second on this lap for Chloe Chambers. It is purple. Purple is pretty good. Chloe Chong, P10, 39.968. Thea Aurelia Nobles is also improving. 7th. She's gone up to 39.6 by just nearly less than a second. So the top 10 separated by 1.3 seconds. Chloe Chambers, though, guess who's improving? It's going to be by at least a second. Chloe Chambers, what's this lap going to be? It's by nearly half a second. 38.1 for Chloe Chambers. Alicia Palmowski also just went to the top. She did a 38.6. Chambers knocked her off 38.1. Thomas says, yes, that's kind of a problem for us, but we can manage. We can manage. You guys can. You guys sort of have to. You sort of don't have any choice. Who's leading? Chloe Chambers leading at the moment. Palmowski?
Down, let's rock it. Head down, let's rock it.
Saying, head down, let's rock it. In this session. Chloe Chambers, 38.125. Fast lap at the moment. Benita Gaiman on to beat that. Possibly she stays P10. Gaiman up into P4. Donna Pan up into P2. Ella Lloyd, who was really quick in Miami last time out for F1 Academy, is also possibly on to improve by about 2 or 3 tenths at this point in time. She's up by nearly 4 tenths and up into P4 for Ella Lloyd. The field is so unbelievably spread out. The top 5 separated by a second. The top 10 separated by less than 1.5 seconds. That is absurd. For a field to be that spread out that's showing how competitive F1 Academy is this season. Alicia Palmowski, who this lap was personal best first and second sector, but she's improving. She's trying to get those tyres still into temperature. Emma Frobelmeyer up into P10 after showing really good pace in free practice. Staying P10 at the moment on a 39.9, so nearly about a second off the pace at the moment. But 38.1, so it's the fastest time we've seen so far this weekend, and it's by Chloe Chambers. But the fastest lap we saw last session was a 38.6, so it's showing the track is improving by nearly half a second through this session. That is crazy. Now there's wet tyres there because there's the threat of rain throughout the weekend, and you can never come to Canada without the threat of rain. Dorian Pan improving through the first 2 sectors. Is this going to be good enough to put her to the top? Is it? No. She's slower by 2 tenths on her personal best. 6 tenths slower. She locks that left front up as she runs into turn 1. She's nearly 4 tenths off Chambers, 2 tenths off her fast lap on that last lap.
I'm going to get a bit of a gap to the front, so I hopefully get a tie with the last sector.
Yeah, well,
that is definitely not a bad idea, Chloe Chambers, to get a toe off Leah Block to try and improve on this fast lap. It's a 1:38.1. Fun fact, Chloe Chambers has done all her laps with a toe. Chloe Chambers has done every lap as the team analyse that data there, but she's done every lap with a toe. Quite interestingly, how that's even been able to be done is interesting without being held up. Leah Block up into P7. Chloe Chambers does not improve, 38.3. But I reckon this lap will be the quick lap here for Chloe Chambers, as Leah Block just backing off there just a little bit possibly. As this is Pat's. She's running through the final sector at the moment. She's personal best first and second sector. She's 2 seconds off the pace. The rookie, what can she do? As she to the line, it is P14. It is not good enough to go fastest in this session. She's P14, but she improved by 0.4, just a quarter of a second improvement. 2 minutes to go in this session. It's between Chloe Chambers and Diane Pan at the moment, as this is why Rafaela Ferreira was actually invalidated on a lap that she was doing, the lap that she finished, and was possibly on to go for 2 laps, but didn't end up happening. She went straight on at the first chicane. Courtney Crone also possibly, most likely, doing the exact same thing. She did do the exact same thing, and she went through turn 1. So, sorry, that's through the Wall of Champions. The Wall of Champions chicane, turn 14, turn 15. 1.5 minutes to go in this session out of 30 minutes. We've gone 29 minutes into this session, and it's already been exciting. Maya Vug, can she bring more excitement to the table? She's P15, 2.1 seconds off the pace. She's waited all session to do this lap. Is it a miracle? No! 1:39.7. At the moment, Albert Larson is on pole for the reverse grid. I forgot to mention that throughout this session. Alicia Palmowski, P3. Chloe Chambers is on provisional pole. But at the moment, Albert Larson is on reverse grid pole for race 1. For those people that don't know, F1 Academy, you get reverse grid for race 1. So the top 10 reversed, and at the moment it is Albert Larson to take that reverse grid pole. But anybody could possibly beat that. Aurelia Nobles is on to beat that as well. She's only 2 tenths off reverse grid pole. Chloe Chong is 0.2 off reverse grid pole. Maya Vug possibly also focusing on that reverse grid pole as well. So those people that can't get in might possibly be wanting to do it on, that can't get inside the top 10, might want to get reverse grid pole. Tina Hausman up into P5. Chloe Chong, she is improving. Personal best first and second sector. Is this going to be enough for reverse grid pole? Alicia Palmowski is P3 at the moment. She's up on, she's 8 thousandths off Chloe Chambers through the second sector. It's a really good second sector. Chloe Chong through the Wall of Champions, through turn 14 and turn 15. There are checkered flag waves here in qualifying. Chloe Chong to the line. P7. That means it gives Jaconte reverse grid pole. That would be absolutely epic for race 1 for Jaconte to get reverse grid pole. Palmowski, what can she do as she comes to the line? Can she grab pole off Chloe Chambers? To the line for Palmowski. P2, no. 0.3 off the pace. Feldman P6. Leah Block is now on reverse grid pole, and she stays there to 39.162. For Leah Block, she might get a reverse grid pole. For race 1. Lloyd, I don't think she's on lap. I don't think anybody could possibly beat that lap of Chloe Chambers. Palmowski was the closest to it. Lloyd is 0.5 off. She's on to, at the moment, only beat Diane Pan. At the moment, she's not on to beat Palmowski. She's 0.1 off through that second sector. But Chambers and Leah Block. Chambers on pole for race 2 and race 3. Leah Block on pole for race 1 when it is reversed in race 1 there. But Ella Lloyd, what is this going to do for her? She's P4 at the moment, and the last one to cross the line. It's not like it's raining or anything. Ella Lloyd does not improve. She's quarter of a second off the pace of Diane Pan. But Chloe Chambers is on pole position for Formula 1 Academy for race 1 tomorrow morning from 8 a.m. I need to catch my breath. Oh, catch your breath. Chloe Chambers, the Red Bull 4 driver, takes pole position. Let's take a listen.
You need this quality. You need this quality. Got a pole. Come on. Oh, yeah, baby. Very time for the go-kart. Maybe we'll have some more for some extras upstairs for the rest of the year. Good job, Joy. Well, nigga, buddy. Thank you guys very much.
Chloe Chambers very, very happy with that one. As it turns out, the first 2 races are reverse grid. So, reverse grid pole for Leah Block. Race 2 will be determined off race 1, whoever finishes there, and then race 3 will be determined by this qualifying session. So, yeah, it's been fun. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you, number 1, for all joining. Really appreciate it. Coming to stream, showing support as well. Yeah. Chloe Chong, P5, P8, should be starting P2 in race 1. And well, wherever she starts in race 2, Dorian Pan, she is P3, she'll be starting P7 in race 1. And trying to make her way up the grid as fast as possible and try and get those points that she so deservingly needs. For reverse grid, it's very much sprint format for Formula 1, but of course it is 10 points for 10th, 9 for 9th, 8 for 8, and 8 for 8th, and so on. So, yeah. But yeah, thank you all guys all for joining. Hit the like button, subscribe before, of course, you all leave. But, yeah. It was a good session for F1 Academy. They will make their way now into the support paddock. This Canada, it's absolutely packed this weekend. I'm not sure what the expected attendance is for Formula 1, but it seems to be pretty good. Qualifying results. It goes to Chloe Chambers by nearly half a second over Alicia Palmowski and Dorian Pan in P3, Ella Lloyd in P4, Tina Hausman in P5, Emma Feldmeyer in P6, Nina Gaiman in P7, Chloe Chong in P8, Leah Block in P9, Rafaela Ferreira, the Brazilian, in P10, 1.1 seconds off the pace though. Still a bit of pace to find, but she is on pole position. Leah Block actually got bumped up into P9, so Rafaela Ferreira, the Brazilian, will be on pole. Joanne Giconte in P11, Abelas in P12, Aurelia Nobles in P13, Putz in P14, Maya Vug in P15, Courtney Crum in P16. The big shock there, biggest shock there was Maya Vug. Maya Vug was probably the biggest shock out of that session. To finish She was P14. P13 in that session. That's shocking. I'm actually shocked that she finished where she did. But yeah, it was fun to watch. It was thank you all for joining. It was really fun for today. The mistakes that I made in the past, I didn't make again. I didn't mute the stream. I didn't have the stream muted the whole time. That's a good thing. I guess Thomas and number 1 would have reminded me. But thank you, Thomas and number 1, for coming through. Number 1, you're close to getting managing moderator. Very, very close. Very, very close. Which means then you can time me out. Because you were talking about that last stream. Of course. You're very close. I mean, if you come to the next few streams, you're on to get managing moderator. But thank you guys all for joining. Come to the stream, share on the support. Hit the like button right now. Right now for Lollipop. Right now. But yeah, thank you guys all for joining. I'm going to wait for the intro to roll and then we'll end the stream. But thank you guys all for joining. I'll catch you guys next one. Bye-bye. RIP. Bruh. It's taking forever for this intro to roll. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but the intro still has... Of course. The intro wouldn't roll. I'm muted. Whoops. The intro wouldn't roll. The intro wouldn't roll. I'm ending stream now. I'm ending stream. I'm ending stream. Goodbye. Goodbye. Say you see yous. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye now. Bye bye.